The Career Services Office at KU Law presents 2L Summer Legal Experiences, How to Find Them. I'm Heather Spielmaker, Assistant Dean of Career Services. So, why find a summer legal experience? There are lots of reasons, and 3 are listed in detail on the slide. But basically, you need experience so you can be a good attorney, and experience now will help you find a job after you graduate. Everyone wants to get paid. However, there is more to consider when making your summer plans than just money. Typically, firms and corporations pay for summer work, judges never pay, public interest employers often cannot pay, and government pays sometimes. But remember, there are summer stipends, fellowships, and scholarships that can help ends meet in the summer if your best opportunity happens to be unpaid. This includes stipends you can get right through our office. Details come out in March. And unpaid internships with the government and public interest employers often turn into paid offers for after graduation, just like paid summer experiences do. There are hundreds of ways to find a summer legal experience. I've heard lots of good stories on the subject, and I can't cover them all today. So we'll focus on the basics. OCIs, direct submissions, simplicity, career fairs, Arizona handbooks, and field placements. Law school is pretty traditional. You've heard that when we explained resumes earlier. And one of the most time-honored traditions in law school are on-campus interviews, affectionately called OCIs. The basic idea is that employers come to our campus to interview our students, which makes this a really convenient way to find a summer legal experience. As 2Ls, you are able to participate in OCIs in both the fall and spring. For fall OCIs, the deadline to apply is in July, and interviews happen in August. So, ironically, you will have to spend time on your 2L summer search while you are still enjoying your 1L summer. Fall OCIs can include many types of employers, but as a very general rule of thumb, they are typically larger firms from this region looking for 2Ls to be summer associates. That's because it's usually the larger firms that are able to anticipate their hiring needs this far in advance. Everyone can participate. You might hear people say that OCIs are only for the top of the class or that they are only for large firms. That's not true. Some employers put a lot of weight on GPA and others don't care about grades as much. They care about other things like dedication to public service, work ethic, and attitude. Then there are spring OCIs. They usually take place in February at KU Law, and your applications are typically due in January. So this means you will need to work on your materials during winter break. These are typically smaller firms, government, and public interest employers from this region. Again, I can't stress enough, everyone can participate. You might hear people say that OCIs are only for the top of the class or that they are only with the large firms. It's simply not true. Some employers put a lot of weight on GPA and others don't care as much about grades. They care about other things like dedication to public service, work ethic, and attitude. This is especially true with public interest employers. About 1/3 of your class, give or take, will find their summer experience through OCIs. The rest find them other ways, but we rarely see a KU Law student who wants a summer experience who hasn't found one. So don't put too much pressure on yourselves over just OCIs. You apply through simplicity. Assuming you uploaded a resume during your 1L year, none of the documents you upload will require our approval, and we won't be notified that you added new documents. So, if you'd like us to edit, proofread, or otherwise advise you on your content, you'll have to send them to us. The best things you can do to improve your odds of finding exactly what you want through OCI. Do as well as possible in your classes. Put together great application materials using the tips in our other recordings. And get as much mock interview experience as possible. your mentor can do a mock interview with you. The CSO usually has a mock interview program, and our CSO staff are always available for mock interviews. Watch the CSO newsletter and your KU email inbox for OCI details, and contact us with questions. OCIs are great, but what if you don't want a summer experience in Kansas, Missouri, or Omaha? Or what if you want to work with an employer from around here that isn't participating in OCI? Direct submissions are the answer. I wish this was easier, but basically, you have to think of the types of organizations you'd like to work with in the region you are interested in, do a search and get a list started, and look at their websites to see if they are recruiting summer interns. If they are, great. Follow their instructions to apply directly. If they don't mention it on their websites, you should send your materials in anyway, with a cover letter that explains who you are and that you're interested in working with them over the summer. The timeline is similar to OCI's. The places that actively recruit 2Ls can have deadlines as early as your 1L summer, so start your search early. Simplicity is the CSO database. Hopefully by now you've registered and have gotten used to using it. You'll find summer experience opportunities posted all year long. Most are in our region, but there are postings for opportunities in DC, Denver, Dallas, all over. We even get them for Alaska sometimes. Please, make it a habit to look on Simplicity a couple times a month throughout law school or until you've accepted a postgraduate job offer, whichever comes first. You can find more great tips for conducting an out-of-state job search in another of our KU Law CSO recordings, aptly named How to Conduct an Out-of-State Job Search. Career fairs are another great way to find summer experiences, both in this region and outside of it. Career fairs are generally developed around a certain theme. Some are related to a type of job, like the Loyola Chicago IP Law Interview Program, while others may be focused on diversity, like the Heartland Diversity Job Fair. Some are both, like the Black Prosecutors Association Conference and Career Fair. Many career fairs require you to register by a certain date just to retain the right to apply for jobs by a later date. Equal Justice Works is like that. So watch those deadlines. Another thing to remember is that not all career conferences or fairs have an interview program. Some rely on table talk for employers to meet candidates, and they then may invite people to apply directly. Lavender Law is like that. Aside from the aforementioned Loyola IP program, the Heartland Diversity Fair, Equal Justice Works, and Lavender Law, KU Law also actively advertises and participates in the Midwest Public Interest Fair. An overview and approximate timelines for these 5 fairs are found here in this chart. If you are interested in a career fair, even if it's not one listed here, please let us know. We often have funds to assist with registration fees and even travel expenses for students attending job fairs. Yes, you heard that right. Arizona Handbooks is a subscription program that KU Law participates in. They have 2 guides, one for government honors programs and one for public policy opportunities. You can access these guides anytime. The link is here on this slide. The login info is provided in every edition of the CSO newsletter, along with all of the opportunities that have deadlines coming up. You can also get login info just by contacting us. Field placements are a great way to spend your summer. KU Law offers 2Ls the opportunity to intern with a government or public interest legal organization for the summer and receive academic credit for it. For this program, you find a qualifying legal employer willing to host you for an unpaid summer internship, and then you apply through the school to get credit for it. Qualifying employer generally means a government agency or a public interest legal organization, where a licensed attorney will be supervising you as you do substantive legal work. This is a great resume builder and a good opportunity to build your professional network. You may be eligible for financial aid while you participate, but contact the financial aid office for more information. You may also be eligible for summer stipends through the CSO. Watch for email about applying in March or contact us. And for questions about field placements generally, visit the link here or contact Professor Jennifer Schmidt. Discrimination won't be tolerated. Employers recruiting through KU Law CSO programs have pledged not to discriminate on the basis of race, color, ethnicity, religion, sex, national origin, age, ancestry, disability, status as a veteran, sexual orientation, marital status, parental status, gender identity, gender expression, or genetic information. If you believe an employer has broken that promise, please notify us immediately so we can take action to protect our students from discrimination. If you are looking for something very specific that isn't covered through these search strategies, or if you have tried these strategies and haven't yet found a summer experience you are excited about, contact the CSO. We are here to help with your job search. And here's our contact info. And finally, remember, our chant rises.